Welcome to JumpStart IT Academy YouTube channel. I'm your host and founder, Chris Johnson. Today's video is what is fintech and the top 5 highest paying fintech jobs. Before we get into it today, let me tell you a little bit about JumpStart IT Academy. We offer courses, books, and coaching. The courses we provide are included in our flagship signature course, our program. It's an online digital mentoring program. It's sort of like you're shadowing me as I go through the tech industry, and I've gone through the tech industry. So you're walking in the steps of someone who's already succeeded, and it allows you to get a fast track to tech. This is where I show you how to get started in tech, how the tech industry works, and how you can fit into the tech industry. I show you how to shorten your learning curve and excel faster in tech. In addition, we review technical and non-technical certifications and degrees, and we help you launch or level up your tech career. And lastly, we show you how to demystify the myths surrounding the tech industry with a free course that we offer. It is called The Top 10 Myths of the Tech Industry. Go ahead and go to jumpstartitacademy.com and go ahead and enroll in that free course and take it for yourself and see if you're doubting yourself or if some of these myths are tripping you up from joining and launching your own very own tech career. What is fintech and the top 5 highest paying fintech jobs? Let's get into it. Part 1. What is fintech? In its most simplest form, fintech is basically financial services and technology combined and functioning as one. If you look at the picture there, finance plus technology equals fintech. There's a lot of financial services that people use, both companies and consumers. Now, when you combine that with technology, it expands. It expands from traditionally, which was isolated in the institution of financial services. And now you have fintech, and people can have access to financial services from their smartphone or from other type of end user devices. What is fintech? Continued. Financial technology, or fintech, is used to describe new tech that seeks to improve and automate the delivery and use of financial services. As I was insinuating earlier about the financial services and the traditional model or traditional sectors, the traditional sectors of financial services was banking, insurance, tax, and accounting. And like I was saying, it was typically housed inside of institutions. But now with technology, a lot of that technology causes the financial services to decouple, meaning it causes them to separate from the institution and put some of those services at the fingertips through a smartphone or some sort of smart device in the hands of the consumer. Therefore, the sectors of the financial services have expanded from the traditional banking, insurance, tax, and accounting. Let's continue. What is fintech? At its core, fintech is utilized to help companies, business owners, and consumers better manage their financial operations, processes, and lives by utilizing specialized software and algorithms that are used on computers and increasingly smartphones. This is what I was mentioning earlier, that smartphones and the fintech has really disrupted the traditional financial services sectors and expanded them. I'll give you 3 examples here. Cash App allows users to send and receive money for free through a mobile application. Zelle, an easy way to send money directly between almost any U.S. bank accounts, typically within minutes, with just an email address or a mobile phone. Square is a point of sale or a free application that lets merchants process payments via smartphone. Now, all these applications that you're seeing, you're accustomed to them. You are very comfortable with all these apps that can come on a smartphone that allows you to do all these financial services. But in the early 2000s, I'd work for a bank, and traditionally, all this technology would simply be in the bank. It wouldn't be outside in the hands of a consumer. But now, with the smartphone and the expansion of speed of processors and internet speed and things of that nature, technology has gone faster, and the innovation has given more technology, especially financial services, directly into the hands of the consumer. And these are 3 examples that highlight that. Cash App. I know it's very convenient for people to use Cash App. Zelle is convenient, and Square is it's merchants or businesses who are doing transactions. I've seen those used at farmer markets. I've seen them used at the swap meet. I've seen them also be used at like a circus or some type of fair or something of that nature. What is fintech? Continued. When fintech emerged in the 21st century, the term was initially applied to the technology employed at the back end systems of established financial institutions. Now, I worked at a bank, so I can attest to this right here. This is a fact. Like I said, technology, we didn't have smartphones in the early 2000s. So the network engineers or system engineers or whatever engineers that were working on managing the hardware and the software for banks or financial institutions, which provided financial services, we're the ones that touched that equipment and no one really touched it. But now you can see that encryption and things that protect data allow and Wi-Fi, as our cellular Wi-Fi, has caused with the cellular antennas and the spreading of those cellular antennas gives consumers access to financial services at their fingertips. Since then, let's continue. However, there has been a shift to more consumer-oriented services. This is what I'm reiterating and continue to let you understand so you can get a grip on what is fintech. It's basically the disruption of the traditional financial services sectors that allows more consumer interactivity with the financial services sector. And therefore, a more consumer-oriented definition was basically warranted because there's a lot of consumers that now have apps that allow them to do what typically only bankers would be able to do. Fintech now includes different sectors and industries such as education, retail banking, fundraising, and nonprofit and investment management, to name a few. Let's continue. What does fintech? Continue. Fintech also includes the development and use of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. While that segment of fintech may see the most headlines, the big money still lies in the traditional global banking industry and its multi-trillion-dollar market capitalization. In other words, Bitcoin's the new kid on the block, and the global banking industry, that is what's going to be respected because their market capitalization is, multi-trillion dollars. Now, unless something catastrophic takes place, I don't see cryptocurrencies taking the front stage over the global banking industry. The top 5 highest paying fintech jobs, part 2. Let's continue. Now, here's a question I assume some of you are asking, but what are the current prospects for job seekers? You'd be surprised to know that most of the time, you don't even require experience in financial services to get hired in fintech. So that ought to make you smile, especially if you're in a position where you're burned out in your job, you're in a different industry, and you want to transition into tech, but you also want to be involved with financial services, or if you're involved with financial services, but you're interested in tech, but you didn't know how to combine those two, there you go. Fintech is the way to do it. And also, if you're just getting started, it should encourage you that sometimes you don't need financial services experience just to get hired into fintech. So don't let entry barriers discourage you from looking at opportunities. I like to tell people about Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And he teaches that behind every institution or behind every opportunity that you want, there's a person. So just understand that if you're ambitious, if you have a goal, if you have a vision, and if you have good character and integrity and you're working towards these goals, some people may hire you on board to a fintech position simply because they admire your passion or your vision that you have, and they believe that you'll be a good contributor to what it is that they're doing. So just don't let not having financial services experience discourage you. Get encouraged because there's opportunity out there. Continuing, the top 5 highest paying fintech jobs. Job number 1, blockchain expert developer. You can be a blockchain engineer, a blockchain product manager, interact with clients seeking blockchain solutions, and help companies adapt their platforms to newer technologies. Blockchain is amongst the fastest growing, highly paid, and in-demand jobs in the fintech sector. Skills required: languages including C++, Java, and skills including Solidity, Ripple, and Hyperledger Fabric. Roles and responsibilities: develop and optimize blockchain protocols, manage front-end or back-end development, monitor smart contracts, and centralized, decentralized data. The average salary is up to $130,000 a year. That should make you excited, especially if you're coming from already existing in the financial services sector and you're making good money over six figures, but you still want to keep that same salary, then you might want to start looking at how you can leverage your existing financial services experience and then add on some technical skill, such as cybersecurity or anything that companies are looking for that are in demand. Combine it with your existing financial services skills and take advantage of the fact that you have credibility in the financial services sector, and also accept the fact that there's opportunity out there and you should take advantage of it. And also, if you're not experienced in financial services, go ahead and manage and make a plan so that you can succeed in this sector. At the Fast Track to IT, we show you how Fast Track to IT program. We show you how to manage your career. We show you how you can understand the industry and ways you can get into the industry so that you can take advantage of a job like this and get the confidence to know that if you have the skills that are in demand in the tech industry, which is why I love the tech industry, people will hire you because there's, whether you don't know this or not, there's a demand for these skills. And if you have the skills, go compete for those jobs. That's as simple as it is. The only restriction you have in competing for these jobs is not being skilled, not understanding what direction to go in, not understanding how to get into the industry, not understanding how you should handle yourself in the industry, not understanding how the industry works. With JumpStart IT Academy, Fast Track to IT program, we answer all those questions. So basically, it's an online digital mentoring program so you can walk. You're basically following me in my shadow, in my footsteps. I started off from scratch in the military and the Air Force in my dorm room, and I didn't have anyone who could guide me or show me. But nonetheless, I was able to thrive, and I share all those gems and those jewels with you in that program. The top 5 highest paying fintech jobs continue. Fintech job number 2, app developer. The demand for mobile solutions and those who can create the same was especially booming in 2020. Fintech apps are seeing a spectacular growth from the last few years since financing is driven by the appetite of tech-savvy millennial consumers. This is why app developers have a constant market to make secure, futuristic, and record-hitting smartphone solutions. Skills required: analytical skills, understanding of databases, JavaScript, machine learning, deep learning, AI meaning artificial intelligence, and programming languages such as Python, Java, C++, and more. Roles and responsibilities: understand the client's app requirements, identify critical specifications, work with IT professionals, design innovative prototypes, write high-quality source code, perform integration before launch, troubleshoot apps, find and fix bugs, test and identify apps, and more. In the Fast Track to IT program, I created a model in which I show you the levels of IT. I'm going to explain it briefly here. The first level is the foundation. That's where you understand the industry and how it works and how to navigate it. And the reason I show you that is because your career will go up and down. Because you may not have the foresight, your skills may expire, a certification may expire. So you need to be able to know how to adjust or how to make a plan so that you can, because some certifications require that you get recertified every year or every 3 years. And so if you don't make a plan and your certification expires, you'll have to start from scratch with that certification, and your employer may let you go if that's a requirement that you have the certification. So in JumpStart IT Academy Fast Track to IT program, I show you how to understand how the industry works, so you're not caught off guard thinking, well, if I got this certification, I'm getting the industry, everything's going to be good. You relax, you take your foot off the accelerator, and you're not staying on the fast track, and you end up in a situation that is unforeseen where your skills are outdated and you no longer can compete for jobs in the tech industry. And in the military, we call that washing out. So in the basic training. So basically, you can easily be washed out of the tech industry if you don't know how it works and how it functions. So that's the foundation. That's level 1. Level 2 is general skills. You need to have general skills. Like, for example, you see here it says understanding the client app requirements. This is project management terms. Now, if you are an app developer, I would advise you in the model that I'm telling you about the 5 levels of tech, I would advise you that you need to, even if you're an app developer, have a working knowledge of project management. Get a working knowledge of cybersecurity, get a working knowledge of cloud computing, get a working knowledge of how PCs function, get a working knowledge of system engineering, get a working knowledge of network engineering. You want a working knowledge of all these knowledge domains, these major knowledge domains, because if it says here, work with IT professionals. If you have a general knowledge of these other domains, then what you're going to be able to do is communicate with these other IT professionals. It'll give you credibility, viability, and it will basically give your career long-term success. Because if you can be the bridge in these meetings, meaning a liaison, then what you'll do is you'll be able to put out fires. You'll be able to make peace. You'll be able to keep relationships intact, and you'll be able to be looked upon as a reliable resource, which therefore will give you that long-term success that will allow you to thrive and not just survive. So the average salary is up to $131,000 for an app developer, and let's keep it pushing. The top 5 highest paying fintech jobs. Fintech job number 3, product owner or product manager. Product owners or managers are involved in a diverse set of roles and responsibilities to handle the product development lifecycle, from design, architecture, and development to when it reaches the ultimate audience, which would be the end user. Product experts are responsible for maintaining a line of quality fintech commodities. Skills required: bachelor's or master's degree in product management, promotional skills, organizational skills, and related technical skills. Now, notice that here they're saying it's required to have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. And in some of them, they didn't really require any college degree. I know for myself, I was in the tech industry for 10 years before I went back to go get my bachelor's and my MBA degree. Now, I want to let you know, in the Fast Track to IT program, we have a program called Quick MBA, or no, how to fast track through college. And how to fast track through college in this program, what I show you is how I got a bachelor's degree in 6 months, an accredited bachelor's degree in 6 months. And if you'll check my YouTube channel, JumpStart IT Academy YouTube channel, there's probably an older video in there, maybe when I first built the channel. And I tell you a little bit about that, but in the course, I go into greater detail and I show you how you can do it for yourself. Roles and responsibilities: understand user needs, monitor competitive trends, define the product's vision, prioritize product features, work with internal and or external stakeholders, and execute a shared vision. And in this particular job, the product owner and manager can make up to $133,000 a year in Silicon Valley. The top 5 highest paying tech jobs are fintech jobs. Financial analyst. Financial sectors always have a demand for financial analysts for the creation and management of company budgets against incoming revenue. Now, notice these terms right here. These are terms of business. Now, if you have a general knowledge of business, you'd be able to understand these terms, because eventually, if you go into the tech industry, you're going to be in the room with business people, financial analysts, business analysts, vice presidents, managers. I was involved at Disney with acquisitions and mergers, a lot of them. So in that particular situation, I had to understand how to talk to all these vice presidents and directors, and I had to be on the phone with them, and I had to work with them and communicate with them in their language, not in the language of my background, which was network engineering. I had to be able to talk to them in terms that they can understand, and not just talk to other network engineers or other techie people. So let's keep going. They also run business studies, conduct analysis, assemble financial reports, and study market trends. Companies additionally require graduates who may work with clients for data analysis. Skills required: bachelor's degree in accounting, economics, finance, mathematics, statistics, along with CFA certification. Now you say to yourself, well, I don't know if I'd want to do financial analyst. No problem. You still need to understand the language that these professionals speak. And in the Fast Track to IT program, I have a module or a course in there called Quick MBA for Tech. Within the Quick MBA for Tech course, I have a module on accounting, economics, finance, and statistics. Now, you don't need to become an expert in this stuff, so this stuff's not going to break your brain. All it's going to do is give you a working knowledge of accounting, a working knowledge of economics, a working knowledge of finance, a working knowledge of statistics, because if you're working with these particular applications and the financial analyst manager comes to you and says, hey, now let's say you're an app developer and they start complaining about the app and you don't know whether there's bugs in the app, or you don't know whether the problem is in the system that's housing the app, or you don't know if there's problem with the data being sent on the network after somebody works on the application and distributes it to another location on another PC in another environment. So because all this stuff is going on, and I don't want you to understand everything I'm saying, I just want you to know you need to have a general understanding of the different roles and responsibilities that other people have so you can communicate with them. Because you being a financial analyst, you're not just going to be a financial analyst and work by yourself in a vacuum. You're going to have to learn how to work with other people, the same with technical people as well. So roles and responsibilities: track the company's financial performance, analyze market conditions, make strategic decisions, work closely. I even have a module on strategy, so you'll understand how to think strategically. Work closely with accountants or accounts team, performance variance analysis, and create forecasts and models. Average salary is up to $67,000 per year. The top 5 highest paying fintech jobs. This is job number 5, cybersecurity expert analyst. Digital space is highly unsafe due to the cyber risks involved. Moreover, financial services are always amongst the significant targets, as cyber criminals usually go where more money is concerned. Now, I'd like to talk about Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. These were famous bank robbers of old, and they were being interviewed by a reporter, and they asked them, why are you robbing the banks? And they simply said in a subtle but humorous manner, they said, because that's where the money is. Well, because the money is in these financial services sectors, that's where the cyber criminals are. That's where they're going to be. And that means that there's going to be a whole lot of opportunity for people who choose to be cybersecurity expert analysts. I mean, even if you're a novice, I'm sure you've seen or heard or have had to deal with, even as a consumer, of a data breach, of someone taking data from a company that houses your personal data. And they may tell you, we're going to have to send you a new card, or we're going to have you redo something, to make sure that this breach doesn't impact you negatively. And so the company, usually they're smeared in the public, and people look down upon them because they didn't secure the public's data. But just keep that in mind. That means as a cybersecurity expert or analyst, you're in a position where that just means more money for you or more opportunity for you. So I'm not saying get excited about a rainy day, but definitely you're the one who has the umbrella. Thus, the demand for cybersecurity expert is red hot in fintech. Firms incur higher costs in crime prevention, and the need for such professionals is expected to increase massively in the coming years. And why? Because that's where the money is. Skills required: digital communication, incident investigation, governance, risk management, compliance, virtualization, technology-specific skills, and analytical skills. Roles and responsibilities: conduct vulnerability testing, monitor security access, perform security audits, identify security breaches, evaluate the best testing tools, handle a team, and deliver awareness training. Usually the job is on premises, but you may have to travel in case of client meetings. Up to $100,000 per year with a CISP certification. I'm going to add the human element here. I have children, so if you have children, you may not be able to take a job that may have a high demand or even a low demand of traveling, depending on the age of your children. So I want to treat the whole person and be holistic and really recognize that you're multifaceted, and you're like me. You wear many hats. You're a father. You're also someone's son. You're a brother. You're a cousin. And you women, you're someone's sister and someone's aunt. And so all these different hats that you wear in maybe in religious organizations or even in nonprofit or volunteer, in some volunteer capacity, you're doing a lot of different things. You may have other responsibilities outside of your work. So you may not be able to travel. But I like to tell people, and just to understand this, the more you can travel, the more opportunity you can have in the tech industry. But it's not limited, because as you can see with the current environment, the health issues going on, a lot of people are working from home, and the internet, and depending on your job capacity, has made it more flexible. So also keep that in mind, that A lot of companies may not be traveling nowadays. The end. I want to thank you for watching. I want you to like, share, subscribe, and get skilled in IT over a college degree. This is JumpStart IT Academy. Like I said, go ahead and check us out at jumpstartitacademy.com. We have a free course over there, the top 10 myths of the IT industry. See if you're causing yourself to hear the negative talk. Get past that negative talk and get in where you fit in. There's a lot of lucrative opportunities out there. And I'm going to leave a link to the articles that I used to put all this together for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.